What's up everyone, I'm CallumOnToast, and in today's video I'm going to be showcasing some battles in the Open Great League submitted to the channel by MaxiPad, who's running a bunch of teams from various regions using Pokemon that Ash uses in the anime, with Pikachu being the mainstay and featured in the lead for every single team. Now this trainer mentioned that Pikachu actually isn't fully powered up for this showcase because they recently invested in a Hundo Pichu, but it is at least powered up over level 40. Now before we get into the battles, I do want to give some quick shout outs to PokeSauce, DJPJ09, Naveen Joseph, Chris JK, Tangy Platypus, Give Me Your Arms, Inquirial, The Vibing Noob, Shao Red, Just Eggsy, Bacon1289 and Night Spawn, because all of these trainers were able to successfully outspice me in my recent live stream. So I do want to say shout out to all of you guys. You brought insanely spicy teams as voted for by the viewers in that live stream. They were spicier than the teams that I was bringing, so that is saying something. So thank you to all of you guys and well-deserved shout outs. And with that being said, let's get into the question of the day. What is your favorite Pokemon that Ash uses in the anime? Let me know in the comment section down below, and with that being said, let's get into the battles now. Alright, so going into the first battle, we're leading Pikachu into Clodsire. So of course, even if we were running Surf, that would be a bad matchup for us, but we're actually not on Surf. Surf is a legacy move for Pikachu, and I guess you don't really want to use an Elite TM on a Pikachu. However, if you are using Pikachu in a theme for a battle that you're going to submit to a YouTuber, and it's going to be in every single team, maybe you should commit to that Surf there. But either way, we're going to see the opponent comes in with a Primate, but they don't full send the close combat, which means, of course, we easily tank the Rage Fist, forcing the opponent to go for another charge move. The opponent is this time going to full send the close combat, but we can come in with the Shadow Charizard, go for the Fire Spin farm down there, and the opponent's going to come in with a Mandibuzz. So, of course, Clodsire still has a lot of energy loaded, but we're going to shield here as the opponent is going to go straight for an Aerial Ace, and we are actually running Fire Blast and not Blast Burn. So if the opponent does not respect the damage, Fire Blast gets the one shot there. I don't think Blast Burn would have quite taken them out there, and that is absolutely huge for us. At this point, we still need to shield the Charizard because, as I mentioned, we're not on Surf. The opponent full sends an Earthquake for some reason. Don't really understand that play whatsoever, but we go for Dragon Claw, grab the final shield. We're now going to swap. We actually didn't need to swap out there. We could have just gone straight for the Dragon Claw there, but either way, the opponent reveals their final move to be a Sludge Bomb. So don't understand why they full sent the Earthquake straight away. I guess the opponent just has no clue what they're doing, I'm not gonna lie, but either way, we can go straight for Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw gets the KO there, and we're able to take that game. I guess the other option is maybe they predicted we would swap into Pikachu and make a catch there, but either way, strange play from the opponent into the next battle, and we're staying in the Kanto region here. I think this is the only repeat region team we've got. Otherwise, every time we get a win, we will switch to the next region for one of Ash's teams, but either way, keeping Pikachu in the lead for every single battle. The opponent goes for a Thunderbolt there, which does big damage. We are running Trailblaze and Earthquake, I believe that is, and we're going to go straight for Trailblaze, boosting up our attack, dealing big damage, but unfortunately, the opponent able to farm us down, and not only that, they come out with a charge move loaded, so not ideal for us. We're going to shield the Surf, go for that Poison Jab farm down as they come back in with a Talonflame. This one we're going to no shield. The opponent is going to go for a Flame Charge, so not ideal for us, boosting up their attack. We're going straight for Thunder Punch. Thunder Punch is going to be shielded by the opponent. We swap back into Pikachu. Not the best timing here, but we do go for a Wild Charge. Wild Charge is going to grab that final shield, and we are just barely able to hang on, reach another Wild Charge. Wild Charge gets the KO there. They come in with their final Pokemon, which is going to be a Jumpluff, and under normal circumstances, with even energy, this should be a positive matchup for us, but unfortunately, because we are so low in health already, even though we had a shield advantage, we're just not going to be able to take out this Jumpluff in time. We go for the Dark Pulse on the CMP die, but Dark Pulse does not get the KO. They actually tank that very comfortably, and an Aerial Ace unfortunately takes out the mark, and we do end up losing that game. But into the next battle, we see Pikachu into Goodra, so not a great lead matchup for us. We're going to swap straight away into the Muck, and the opponent choosing to stay in here, we're going to go straight for a Dark Pulse, and it looks like we threw on CMP there, so very interesting. Dark Pulse is going to be shielded by the opponent, and never mind, that was not a CMP tie there, it just kind of looked like it for some reason. But either way, we are going to go for a no shield, and we can at least reach a last second Thunder Punch. If the opponent doesn't know the counts here, they might end up shielding, and they do. They double shield their Goodra, which is very nice for us. We still have to come in with the Tauros. Pikachu is going to be walled still, so we're going to go and shield up the first charge move. They're going to reach at least back-to-back Arquitels here, and we are going to double shield the Tauros. So, of course, Taurus's energy is pretty good unless we see like a flying type in the back. So, we're going to go for the tackle farm down, and the opponent is going to come in with a flying type. So, unfortunately, have to swap out there, but they don't swap out, so we can go straight for Wild Charge. Wild Charge is going to connect. It gets the one shot. They've actually got a Shadow for Alligator in the back. We throw on CMP. Unfortunately, Pikachu easily loses CMP in this matchup, but we've got so much loaded energy, we can just go straight for a Trailblaze here. Didn't really need to overfarm at all, because Trailblaze, of course, gonna boost up our attack. Trailblaze gets the one shot from that range, and we're able to take that game. So, going into the next team, and we are going into the Johto region. So, of course, we're going to have a Donphan and a Noctowl in the back, and we're able to swap and catch presumably a drill run onto our Noctowl. But of course, given the fact that we've seen someone go for an Earthquake up against a Charizard, maybe that is a little bit of a risky catch in this elo range. But either way, the opponent goes for a Rock Slide this time around. We're now going to overfarm, fire off a Sky Attack just before they reach the next charge move, and of course Sky Attack gonna deal some decent damage there. They can tank that, and it looks like the opponent trying to commit to a farm down, not able to do so, fires off a charge move as they go for a Rock Slide. We're going to come in with a Donphan, and at this point we do still have 2 shields, so at the last second we are going to shield a Drill Run. The opponent doesn't allow us to fully farm them down, instead swapping into a Dax Spun, so we go straight for Trailblaze. And of course Trailblaze gonna boost up our attack. The first one doesn't do much damage, but honestly it puts them into range where we can just go for a Mud Slap farm down. So we're going to use our final shield, but we're actually going to swap into our Pikachu, get the snipe with the Thunder Shock damage. The opponent swaps into a Dunsparce just to be farmed down there and reveal their final Pokemon to be a Typhlosion. Now we go straight for Thunderbolt. The opponent no shields that, and now we can go for a Wild Charge. Of course, Wild Charge is going to debuff our defense there. The opponent only had a Thunder Punch. They have to go for 1 extra Incinerate, and unfortunately, Mud Slap's not dealing enough damage there. Blast Burn gets the KO, and unfortunately, we do lose that game. But into the next battle, we see a Shadow for Alligator in the lead. So based on typing, this is a good matchup, but we do pace the same to a Wild Charge as they do to a Hydro Cannon. And of course, we already know we lose CMP in this matchup, so not really ideal. But the opponent's going to Safe Swap into a Clodsire. We're going to respond with a Donphan. We can no shield 1 charge move, and the opponent's actually going to go for a Stone Edge. I don't know if that's a bait, or if the opponent just doesn't understand typings, or if maybe they're on Stone Edge and maybe Poison Jab. Oh, sorry, not Poison Jab. What am I talking about? On Sludge Bomb, that's the one. That's what I was thinking of. Either way, the opponent goes for another Stone Edge there. We're going to commit to a full Mud Slap farm down, but just barely not able to reach it. And at this point, we can't really afford to double shield. So instead, gonna no shield that, come in, get some more farm with the Pikachu as they come in with a Jump Blast. So going straight for Wild Charge. Wild Charge, not gonna do too much damage, but honestly, it does respectable damage there. We're gonna come in with the Noctowl. The opponent allows us to get a huge energy advantage before swapping into Feraligatr. We go for Sky Attack, grab the final shield, and even if they do bait with a Hydro Cannon, it's gonna do more damage than anything from the Jump Blast. So I would advise just shield this Charge Move here, and we are able to reach a Sky Attack before they reach a potential Ice Beam. So Sky Attack will, of course, get the KO from that range, and the opponent's just going to concede the match. So going into the next battle here, we're going to see Pikachu in the lead once again, and we've got a very spicy back line here with Grovyle and Shadow Glalie. So going to swap, once again able to catch a resisted Droron onto our Grovyle, very nice. The opponent going to choose to stay in with the Dunsparce, and we choose not to go straight for Leaf Blade there, just because if the opponent then tries to make a catch, that was a pretty obvious play. But now we've farmed up to back-to-back Leaf Blades. First one will be coming through, and it grabs a shield from the opponent. So now we overfarm here, looking to throw on CMP, but the opponent does not throw straight away, which means if the opponent continues to overfarm, we can reach another Leaf Blade on the CMP tie here, and Leaf Blade is going to grab the final shield from the opponent. So the opponent must be incredibly weak to grass in the back. So Rockside gets the KO. We can come in with the Pikachu. We try to throw before they reach another charge move, but we get one turn lag as we come in, so we end up throwing on CMP, losing CMP, but Shadow Glalie here, of course, you can see it is only single moved, but I think this trainer said that they just ran out of Stardust at this point. But either way, we go for an Avalanche, dealing big damage up against the Corviknight. However, The fact they had Corviknight in the back means that they really didn't need to fight that hard to take out the Grovyle there. They could have just swapped into the Corviknight. But either way, we get a huge farm down, and they've got a Quagsire in the back. We've just reached back-to-back avalanches. Of course, the first one gonna do big damage. A second avalanche easily gets the KO from this range. And of course, we're able to take out the Quagsire, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, Pikachu into a Malamar. So not really ideal for us, but we're going to choose to stay in. We will actually outpace them to the first charge move if we go straight wild charge, but not going to throw straight away. Instead, looking maybe to build up to back-to-back wild charges before throwing a first move. So I'm going to farm up to back-to-back, go for the first wild charge. Wild charge is going to be shielded by the Malamar. We're going to go for wild charge number 2. Then we will need to swap out of this matchup. Wild charge is going to be no shielded, so we swap into our Shadow Style Raptor, and it looks like we are on Sand Attack. The opponent goes for foul play. We actually no-shield that. They then swap into Astonish Klefki, which is a very strange play because now it allows us to reach a close combat, near enough get the one-shot, come in, get the snipe with the Infernape, and go for a Fire Spin farm down, and the opponent's going to have a Ariados in the back, and you can see once again, we're not on Blast Burn, so I don't know if this trainer just hasn't been playing for very long and just doesn't have legacy moves on any of these Pokemon, but either way, we farm up to 100 energy. If the opponent shields this up, we can go straight for a flamethrower because 45 energy plus 55 energy from a flamethrower does equal 100. Flamethrower gets the KO there, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we're going to see Pikachu into a Shadow Alola Ninetales. So not great for us, and we've got 2 Pokemon weak to the Ice typing in the back, so really not ideal, but we're going to go straight for a Wild Charge here. Wild Charge is at least going to grab a shield, and if we're on Steel Wing, then Steel Wing at least going to hit for double super effective damage here, so I'm going to shield this up here as they go for a Weather Ball, and we are on Steel Wing, dealing huge damage. Steel Wing actually gets the farm down before they reach another charge move, and they come in with Altaria, so we kind of need this the Sky Attack to land, and the opponent does no shield. They then swap, they blind swap into Whiscash at the same time as we swapping into our Livani, and this is going to be game over. We can go straight for Leaf Blade, grab a shield, and the opponent over farms here, allowing us to reach another Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade number 2 easily gets the one shot there. All we have to do is commit to a Silver Wind, of course. Both moves are resisted. Silver Wind is single resisted, however, and Silver Wind gets the KO up against the Altaria, and we're able to take that game. Into next battle, we see Pikachu into a Primeape, so definitely not ideal for us. We've got Greninja and Talonflame in the back, so can't really afford to swap out. Instead, I'm going to stay in this lead matchup here. They need to go for close combat because Rage Fist does not take out the Pikachu. Now we can full send the Wild Charge. Wild Charge grabs the shield advantage from the Primeape, which is very nice. We're going to come in with the Talonflame, and I'd probably no-shield the first charge move here, as the opponent does just go for another Rage Fist, dealing some decent damage at this point, but they're going to swap into a Mandibuzz. We're going straight for the Brave Bird. Brave Bird does big damage. We can now swap into Greninja, of course, resisting the Snarl damage. Aerial Ace not going to hit that hard either, so going to no-shield the first charge move, then probably going to maybe shield the next move if the opponent does end up shielding the Hydro Cannon. The opponent is going to shield. They are going to go and fire off another Aerial Ace, so we will be respecting the damage this time around. We're now going to overfarm. The opponent swaps back into Primeape just to be taken out with a Hydro Cannon from the Greninja. Hydro Cannon gets the KO there, and let's see what the opponent wants to do. You can see we are tapping absolutely everywhere on the screen right now for some reason. They're going to come in with the Venusaur, and they throw on awful timing, allowing a full Incinerate to go through. They go for Sludge Bomb there. We're now going to overfarm here. We're now 1 away from back-to-back charge moves. We go for the Flame Charge, gets in the KO, boosting up our attack, and just because we have the energy, we're going to full send the Brave Bird. No bubble it. Brave Bird gets the KO up against the Mandibuzz, and we're able to take that game. So going into the next battle, we've got Pikachu into Morpeko, and we've got a double Dragon backline with Goodra and Noivern. So we're going straight for Wild Charge here. Of course, Wild Charge is resisted damage. However, Wild Charge is going to be shielded by the Morpeko, so we come in with Goodra. We can definitely no-shield this first charge, although if they're running Outrage, that would be crazy, but it is just a Psychic Fang. So we no-shield that, they drop out of fence. We try to go for the Arctel straight away, but unfortunately just barely outpaced. The opponent is going to go for another Psychic Fangs there, which probably wouldn't take us out from that range, but now with the next charge, even if they go for an Aura Wheel, which is resisted damage at this point, it will definitely take out the Goodra. So we're actually going to double shield here. Can we even get a full Dragon Breath farm down in time? The opponent goes for another Psychic Fangs, and they're able to reach yet another Psychic Fangs here. Psychic Fangs definitely gets the KO from this point. We're going to come in with an Ivern, go for the S-Slash farm down, but the opponent comes in with a Bubble Gelatin. Now, if they're on Ice Beam, then, of course, this is going to one-shot us, but the opponent is just going to go for a Shadow Ball there. We are going to swap out. We are actually just barely not at the Hurricane yet, but we come in with a Pikachu. We're able to outpace him to the move, go straight for Wild Charge. Wild Charge gets the KO there. They're going to come in with a Licky Licky. This is going to be very close. We go straight for the Wild Charge, and Wild Charge, of course, is going to deal some reasonable damage. We kind of need to make it to a Hurricane here. Psychic will not do the job, and unfortunately just barely outpace. The opponent goes for Body Slam. Body Slam takes us out there, and unfortunately we do lose that game. Now going into the next battle, we see a Morpeko in the lead once again, so we're just going to run it back, do the exact same thing, go straight for Wild Charge. We should actually just barely live an Aura Wheel, so we are going to no shield, and we barely hang on there. You can see, like, maybe one more Thunder Shock will be taking us out, especially with the debuff to our defense from Wild Charge, but we actually swap out anyways. I'm not so sure about that, just because, of course, now we're switch locked. However, it doesn't really matter. We got two Dragon types in the back anyway, so being switch locked isn't going to make a huge difference. But now we can go for an Aqua Tail here. At this point, the opponent probably does just let Morpeko go down. Nope, never mind. They're a Morpeko, so they're going to double shield it no matter what. And so we're going to go and shield the charge move as the opponent goes for an Aura Wheel. And let's see what the opponent wants to do. They're going to stay in just to be farmed down there. Strange play there, but they're going to come in with a Diggersby. We could go for back-to-back Aqua Tails, but that's kind of boring. We are running Draco Meteor, so Draco Meteor hits for huge damage. We then swap. We catch, presumably, a Scorching Sands onto our Noivern, and it is the Scorching Sands, so really nice play there. The opponent staying in with the Diggersby for some reason. Unless they've got Hyper Beam, this is not a good matchup for them. They go for Fire Punch, that is resisted damage. They get farmed down there, and they've got a Azumarill in the back, so they had a really good answer to our Dragons in the back anyways, but for whatever reason they chose, you know what, we're just going to wait until it's too late here. Come in with the Azumarill. They are going to go straight for a charge move here. The opponent is going to go for a Play Rough, meaning they're probably not on Ice Beam, which means even though we don't have Thunder Punch, we don't have Grass Knot, we don't have Sludge Wave, we're able to swap, catch the charge move onto our Pikachu. The opponent goes for Play Rough once again, and at this point, we've got an opportunity to go for a double resisted Draco Meteor. We're absolutely going to take it. Draco Meteor, not going to do much damage, but from this range, it does get the KO up against Azumarill, and we're able to take that game. Into the next battle, we see Pikachu into Darkspawn in the lead, and we've got Melmetal and a Incineroar in the back. I almost couldn't remember what this Pokemon was called. We're going to go straight for a Wild Charge here and then probably swap out of this matchup. Wild Charge, no, never mind. We're actually going to just stay in this matchup here to make sure we can align our Melmetal. Now we are going to probably no-shield this first charge move as the opponent goes for a Psychic Fangs. They're not going to do too much damage. They swap into Sand Slash. Unfortunately, we're not on Superpower there. Otherwise, we probably would have just thrown it straight away. And we're also not on Fire Fang on our Incineroar. But we do have Blaze Kick. Blaze Kick, of course, going to hit for double super effective damage. And the opponent is going to use their final shield. Now, they do just barely outpace us to the next charge move. Technically, we probably could just barely hang on to a draw on there. But instead, going to play it safe. Farm up to back-to-back Blaze Kick here. This should easily get the one shot. Blaze Kick taking out the Alolan Sand Slash. They come in with a Lantern, and we're already at the Darkest Lariat, so we're going straight for it. Darkest Lariat does over 50% of their HP. We are going to stay in here, just force the opponent to throw their energy immediately. I don't mind this play because now we can come in with the Melmetal. We know we've got a great matchup up against the Darkspawn in the back. We're going to farm up, go straight for Rockside. Rockside is going to get the KO there. They come back in with the Darkspawn, and we can go straight for a Flash Cannon. And of course, Flash Cannon, super effective damage. We even get a screenshot just for the sake of it, and we're able to take that game. Now going into the final battle of this video, we're going to see a Dugong in the lead. So this is very good for us. And as well, Lucario is going to be very good in this matchup as well. We're going to go for the Wild Charge here, throwing just before they reach their first charge move. Wild Charge gonna be no-shielded by the opponent. And we can actually reach another Wild Charge as the opponent doesn't throw immediately. Wild Charge gets the KO there. The opponent underestimating the damage output from Pikachu. They come in with an Altaria, which not really ideal for us. We're going to come in with Lucario. We can, of course, resist the Dragon Breath damage here and go for a Power Up Punch bait. This is honestly quite risky, but Power Up Punch is going to be no shielded by the opponent. They then come in with Defense from Deoxys, and at this point, it's actually not looking too good for us. Of course, we're going to have to use some shields here. The opponent goes for that Rock Slide straight away, and maybe we just double shield and commit to a full Dragon Breath farm down. I guess that's going to have to be the play here, but I just don't think we're going to reach 3 charge moves up against the Altaria. So let's see. They come back in with the Altaria. We can go straight for the Dragon Claw here. Dragon Claw, of course, should be shielded by the opponent, but we can go for another Dragon Claw. If they commit to a full farm down, maybe we've got a slither of hope here. So let's see. Dragonite just barely able to reach the charge move, but just because we can, we're able to swap out, catch the Sky Attack there. You can see we actually had the energy anyway, so we could have just gone for it. But either way, Dragon Claw gets the KO there, and we're able to take that game.
So that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy it, please make sure you leave a like, leave a comment letting me know, and as well, don't forget to respond to the question of the day if you haven't done so already. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. That way you'll be notified whenever I upload a new video. And if you want to take your support even further, you can now become a channel member with perks including early access to new videos, shoutouts at the end of each video, custom loyalty badges, and custom emojis to use in the comments. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that has already become a channel member. Your support is greatly appreciated. And with that being said, thank you all so much for watching today's video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.